It is to you, the children of South Africa. And it is from us, your big brothers, speaking to you because of experience. There is nothing new that South Africa is going through that we've never seen before. Our parents, once upon a time, very content to continue to serve the white man, to continue to be slaves of the white man, and to continue to earn money from debt for the sale of their resources. Once upon a time, our parents thought that success was selling their children's futures, their children's heritage, their children's land and resources to the white man for them to be able to drive nice cars, have TVs, and send their children to expensive schools. But today, Zimbabwe has had to pay the price for the comfort that our parents had. There is no revolution without suffering. There is no revolution in which the people do not lose for a certain time in order to build for their children's futures. Some great man once said that a generation has got to wear overalls and they've got to use shovels for the future generations to wear suits. The problem with you, South Africa, is that you are content with buying BMWs on credit, content with designer clothes, designer fashions, and driving on beautiful roads, while 60% to 70% of the rest of the population live in poverty to support your fake middle-class lives. And the reason why this fake middle-class life is encouraged is that every single time that you take credit to buy those beautiful cars, to buy those beautiful clothes, you are supporting Western businesses. You're supporting European car companies, Japanese car companies, and you are supporting retailers that are Europeans. You are going into debt so that your resources, your land, continues to be controlled by the white man for the benefit of the white man, not knowing that you're eating into your children's futures. When your resources go and you get in return a BMW on credit, for which you're going to pay a very high interest rate, when you give away your resources and your land so that you can get a loan to buy a house in a complex, to buy a house in an estate, who do you think is going to pay for all this consumption that you're going through now? When you spend money on champagnes, Scotch whiskey, and you spend money on the Durban Julys, whose products are you buying and whose future do you think that you're eating into? It's time that you guys become a little more smarter than this book knowledge that is based on ignorance. You are spending into your children's futures. Your resources are no longer what they used to be, but they're getting depleted. For 100 years, South Africa was the biggest.
Yeah, this is the time when really I had to sit down and look at this man called Rutendo. I think for a long time now, I've been listening to this guy, trying to understand exactly what is it that he's talking about, especially when it comes to South Africa. I've looked at this guy and asked myself a number of questions. This is a guy coming from Zimbabwe, and he's here in South Africa. And I know that his kids are here and they were born here. He's a Zimbabwean. He's actually a Shona from Zimbabwe. And now there are certain interesting points that I just picked up. I'm not going to make this video long, but I think it's important to point out a few things about this guy. Yes, indeed, he is doing the work that he's doing, but I wish he could be doing this work in Zimbabwe because there's a lot of work to be done in Zimbabwe. When he addresses us in his opening, he calls us the children of Azania. I take that he understands what Azania is, and the same way I understand. Azania is a certain geographic area described as an area that is extending from Ethiopia to the borders of South Africa and Malawi or Mozambique, let's say Mozambique. I have no issues with that. It's a certain tropical region that is described. It's described by the PSC guys, Pan-Africanist Congress of Tanzania. You would remember, Azapo also, they were talking about Tanzania. Myself, I'm a South African. And in the description of Tanzania, if we were to look and go by the geographical description of the place called Tanzania, I'm a South African and I'm in South Africa. I don't know about him. Maybe he belongs to that Tanzania that he's referring to. But I belong to South Africa and I worry about the problems facing South Africa today. Now, if he was Tanzania enough, like he says, and he also, of course, this video will go on, and those of you who would like to actually listen to the video, this video was posted on the 9th of May 2023. I think it was posted by DJ Spoo or Rutendo, I don't know, but I saw that it has got a name, DJ Spoo. I think is the person who posted the video. Now, the guy, he's talking about him being a Pan-Africanist. And, well, I don't know how deep is that. But I wish perhaps his Pan-Africanism could have started at home. Because as we know, that Zimbabwe got its independence around 1980. And we know that as soon as Zimbabwe got its independence, Robert Mugabe put together a 5th brigade, which was a military group or a battalion, so to say, that was trained by North Koreans, specifically for one thing, to liquidate ZAPU, and the Zebra, which was led at that time by Joshua Nkomo. They killed almost everyone at Matebeleland. They killed children, young children, little children, innocent, women, old men, old women. Not only did they do that, they took their cows, they took their land. They never even offered them a chance to bury their loved ones properly. They actually were put in mine shafts. I can go on and on about the atrocities that were committed by Robert Mugabe, Mugabe's 5th Brigade. And I would remember that Mugabe, the ZANU PF, was recruiting mainly from the Mashonaland, meaning that Mugabe went all out to actually divide Zimbabwe into 2 main tribal groups, which is the Shonas and the Ndebelers. And now Rutendo is a Azanian, is a Pan-Africanist. I don't hear him trying to heal the wounds of the Matebeleland people, as even today as we speak, the Matebeleland people are poor. In fact, what has developed in Zimbabwe is that the Shonas now, they have positioned themselves as superior to the Ndebele people in Zimbabwe. In fact, even the development or the economic development or improvement of lives of the people in Zimbabwe is happening in the Mashonaland. It's not happening in Matebeleland. Now, I would have loved actually to see this Azanian or this Pan-Africanist doing a lot of work, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done at Matebeleland to improve the lives of those Azanians that he's referring to, or those Africans that he loves so much. I think that's where to start. He goes on to talk about us as South Africans as being stupid, taking debt, spending money, on white companies who are screwed left, right, and center. And he says he's a big brother. I don't know what does he mean by that we must listen to Zimbabweans as our big brother. At what point do they become our big brother? I don't understand. We did not do the things that they did. We have got a different approach from Zimbabwe. South Africa is a big and complex country. It has got a totally different history and the makeup in terms of composition. Different groups, race groups in South Africa. And it's very, very huge. It's very vast. Zimbabwe is about 15 million, which is almost the size of about Gauteng. We are almost 4 times bigger than Zimbabwe. We are a complex country. Therefore, it's almost like comparing a very sick donkey to a racehorse. You can't. So again, I think this man needs to do some work at home rather than to come and advise us here as South Africans. We do not need his advice. We understand South Africa better than he understands. He may be running around internationally. He says he started a lot of companies, TV presenter, all those things. He has got a certain CV that they probably, I don't know where it comes from. But anyway, I don't think he's our big brother. I don't think Zimbabwe is our big brother. I don't think we should be listening to Rutendo. And there is friends that I'm not going to name now because they also sometimes give me a feeling that, I become very uncomfortable to listen to people who talk like this. Maybe if he can change his tone a little bit, and try and understand our situation here in South Africa. We did not chase away white people. We have them here. In fact, we love them and we work with them. We do business with them. We do business with the international world and we'll continue doing business with the international world. Now, he talks about experience. I don't know what experience we need to share, with Zimbabwe, having done what they have done to their own people. We didn't slaughter vendors here. We didn't slaughter Tswanas. Yes, we had some problems there and there, but we managed to solve our problems quickly. And we went on. We don't have Zulu, that is threatening other tribes here. We don't have vendors fighting Sutus fighting. We don't have that. There's no black group here that is superior than the other. Not even white people. They already understand that they are not superior. In fact, they are fitting very, very well in South Africa. And they are doing well. It's a matter of time. All the wounds of the past will be healed. But for Rutendo to come and agitate that we need to be having problems with white companies, with white people, will have problems with the West, like they have got sanctions now. They are dealing with their sanctions the way they deal with their sanctions. I know it's running around the whole world trying to get the world to actually uplift the sanctions that have been imposed against Mugabe and his cronies in Zimbabwe. There's history to that. But I don't want to make this video too long. But I just want to send a message to him, the same message that he's sending to us. At least it must go to him today and say, you better go home and do a lot of work at home. There's a lot of work cut out for him there. He needs to heal the wounds of the Matebeleland people and also assist his Shona people to understand that these people at Matebeleland, they are the same as them. We know the history of Zimbabwe. And then the issue of, maybe let me sit a little bit on this issue of experience that Zimbabwe has. ZANU-PF, as soon as they got independence in 1998 after the Lancaster Agreement of 79, the first thing they did was to eliminate, together with the white people, the white Rhodesians, actually the white Zimbabweans, they had to team up because Britain did not want Nkomo, and Nkomo was very popular in Zimbabwe, very popular in Mashonaland. He was popular all over. Mugabe was not popular. And then what happened is that Margaret Thatcher made it a point. She even said it, that the one who's going to win is not the one who's going to rule. And basically what it meant that because Nkomo was aligned to Soviet Union, and then that was the arch enemy of Britain. And then Britain made it a point that they divide the people using Mugabe and his cronies and the white people from Rhodesia and white people from South Africa to team up against ZAPU and Zebra and eliminate ZAPU and Zebra. Hence the Gukurahundi, trained by the North Koreans, and they came, they eliminated their own black people. I've never seen this. You go and call the Koreans to come and train black people, and some of the Koreans participated actually in that. Some of the Koreans literally went out there to go and kill the children, the women, old men, and they're saying they were looking for dissidents. They killed a lot of people. Even those people right now, they're still lying, their bones are still lying in those mines that even ZANU-PF doesn't want to talk about, even today. Not even an apology. Mugabe died having not apologized to the people of Matebeleland. Even Emerson Mnangagwa right now doesn't want to apologize. Even you, Rutendo, you don't want to apologize on behalf of your government as the Pan-Africanist that you say you are. So my advice to you is that you go back to Zimbabwe, assist the people of Zimbabwe together, the Shonas, the Ndebeles, to start sharing water, to start understanding each other, healing the wounds, tell your government to apologize, and they also bring back the cows that were taken, and they also compensate these people properly, give them education. Those children who don't have parents, their mothers and fathers who died during the Gukurahundi crazy moment. So you assist those people, get them to be economically active, improve Matebeleland, stop blaming the roads that we have here in South Africa, taking our children to school, drinking champagnes. Those are petty issues. The major issues that we're dealing with here, we have got a lot of people who form about 17% of the population that are languishing in poverty in Matebeleland. So if you can start there, then I would really believe you when you say you are from Azania and when you are saying you are a Pan-Africanist. I hope and I think with this litmus, I'm going to do a lot of videos because your video that you did is very long and you go on and on insulting us as South Africans, how stupid we are, that we allow white people to do what they are doing to us. You forget right now that in the Chinese, they are pillaging, they are looting everything in Zimbabwe. I can tell you, I've got first-hand information what is going on in Zimbabwe. Chinese are looting your gold. They're looting anything that you have on that ground. And you're coming to tell us that we're taking loans because we want to drive BMWs. But the Chinese are taking your gold. And now you guys, what you are doing, you're actually ending up smuggling gold yourselves. There's nothing that you are doing that is better. South Africa is more organized than Zimbabwe. We have got the rule of law here, which is what actually you don't like. You want to have anarchy so that you are the same as Zimbabwe. We're not going to be like Zimbabwe. We handle our things differently, and we know what we are doing. We do not need advice from the so-called big brother, Rutendo. It's a non-starter. It's not going to work like that. And the other thing that you must remember, if you don't go and solve what is happening in Zimbabwe, in the minds of Zimbabwe, you guys will end up having nothing, just like you are saying now, because the Chinese are looting everything and very fast. And they have got the best equipment that you have. You are talking about borrowing money. Those guys, they are not even, they are taking everything that, even on that indigenization of yours, of 5149, they are looting everything. And if you don't stop it now, I can tell you now, in 10, 20 years, we'll have nothing because they would have mined everything out of Zimbabwe. So yeah, on that note, I would love to end this video, but I hope and believe that the message that I'm making, you are going to receive it and you will respond. I'm going to do more videos on the video that you have done and addressing all these things that you are saying, because my worry is that you are actually contaminating the minds of the young people of this country. You make them to understand things totally different. We're doing a lot of work here trying to heal this country. trying to heal the wounds of the past. And when we've got young people listening to people like yourself, you are a very, very dangerous person. I must be honest with you. And the people like yourself must not be allowed. I'm glad that many, many media platforms have banned you. In fact, if I were the president tomorrow, people like yourself would not be allowed to speak in South Africa, because you are just a threat to our stability. You are a threat to our thriving democracy. You are a threat to our peace. We've got peace here. And we didn't chase white people like you did. We didn't kill the people in Matebeleland. We didn't take the farms by force from white people claiming to be war veterans. No, we didn't do that. So please, let us stop talking things that need to be discussed by their owners. These problems that we have, they belong to us. We know how to deal with them. Thank you very much. And I hope the message is loud and clear. I will be doing quite a number of videos to follow up on this one, because I need to deal with each and every thing that you are saying about us as South Africans.